have fantastic winners this evening, that there is a vast amount of intellectual capital sitting here who contribute to our society and building our country. And certainly next year, when we celebrate 20 years of our democracy, I hope we'll all be together here to reflect on the past and look into our future. I hope you all have a fantastic evening, and thank you for coming.
The Corporate Social Investment Award selection process is based on a detailed BEE scorecard for all JSE-listed companies, collected by who owns who, and the individual components entered into a scoring model. So far, so good. I'm with that. I get it. Fantastic. An analysis was done to identify the 40 top percentage scorers in the socio-economic development and enterprise developmental components of the scorecard across the 9 major business sectors. It's pretty obvious. The objective was to score the submissions on the basis of initiative impact and sustainability. I mean, I've always said that. So, I'm very excited to tell you that the winner of this year's CSI Award is Nedbank Group.
Certainly it gives me great pleasure on behalf of Nedbank to accept this award. I certainly believe that to be the recipient of an award like this for sustainability, clearly what you do need to do is understand the value you add to society and how you deliver on your social purpose as a business. And for banks that neglected this, I think the global financial crisis was certainly a stark reminder, and probably South Africa is one of a handful of countries in the world that banks can actually still win corporate social investment awards. So certainly at Nedbank we aim to be the bank that society needs and society wants. And we acknowledge our role as a steward of the assets of a country and advocates of socio-economic goals. And certainly banks have an enormously special role to play in society as enablers of value creation. And we try and do that in an integrated and sustainable manner. So really just in conclusion, I'd just like to thank the Sunday Times, thank the sponsors for this acknowledgement as an encouraging voice in support of our long-term journey towards a better life for all South Africans. Thank you.
The top company is the company that gave the most growth to shareholders over the 5-year period to the end of September. The formula is 10,000 Rand invested in shares for 5 years with all income reinvested. This year's top company returned 178,822 Rand. The Sunday Times Business Times Top Company Award for 2013 goes to Coronation Fund Managers.
All as a result, we believe, of our unwavering commitment to investing for the long term. This commitment is not only part of our investment philosophy or process, but it's also the way we run the business. The robust inflows we've enjoyed in the recent years on the back of good investment performance, combined with a strong equity market and a global chase for yield, has resulted in exceptional share performance over the last 5 years. Our shareholders' expectations are ever high. It is important to realize that asset management is a cyclical business, and our revenue is highly geared to both market returns and the performance that we can deliver to our clients. We don't focus on asset gathering. I know some of you might not believe that, but we don't. And we don't have a target share price either. Our sole focus is fund management and earning our clients' trust through appropriate product and the delivery of investment excellence. More recently, we live in a world where financial services companies are the object of increasing regulations and scrutiny, stemming not only from the 2008 financial crisis, but also from the scandals and practices of some of the financial companies, some of them which no longer exist. In conclusion, I can confirm that based on our investment experience, we will continue to remain vigilant in the way we run the business and guard against those pitfalls that so often accompany success. I therefore humbly accept this award on behalf of my team at Coronation and thank our clients, without whom we've had no business, for their loyal support.
It's now time to turn to the Business Leader of the Year award, which is, of course, voted for by the chief executives of the top 100 companies. And to be selected by your peers is the ultimate accolade, as you would have seen from our list of previous winners. And this year, the Sunday Times Business Leader of the Year award goes to Michael Jordan, when you were CEO of First.
Naturally, I'd like to express my gratitude to the Sunday Times. They've created this wonderful, prestigious event. I should tell you that in my career, I've made a point of actually never reading a newspaper at my desk, but Felicia, luckily, I never had to apply this on a Sunday. It's discipline. My sincere thanks go to my fellow business leaders who have nominated or voted for me for this 2013 award. I really, really do not deserve this. The room is filled with people who are my role models. I'm not going to mention names, but your recognition to me is the most important affirmation that I've ever had that I'm doing something right. I am going to tap into the energy that you have given me tonight for many, many years to come. I feel that there are a lot of people here who actually did all the hard work, and I shouldn't really deserve it. So, if I may, I'd like to say thank you to 30,000 people. They're the talented people who help out in FNB. I'm proud to call them my colleagues and friends. They do all the hard work, and it feels a little bit eerie to me to be given some credit when they do all the hard work. A number of years back, I was asked what I believe the secret is to good leadership. I responded that for me, success as a leader is if you have that ability to surround yourself with people who are better than you, agree on a goal, and then largely to get out of the way. And today I stand firmly by that same philosophy. Mae West used to joke. She said, give a man a free hand and he'll run it all over you. Jokes aside, my sense is that empowering people is the name of the game. People are inherently good, and my experience is that if you trust the right people, they will nearly always surprise you with great results. The incredible people at FNB are the only reason why I'm standing on this podium today. It's said that strategy is a bit like sex for the hippo. Excuse my focus there. It's not a full-time job. Consequently, I did, all I could do to not spend a lot of time on strategy. And the truth is that the people of FNB did all the hard lifting when it came to achievements. So as I end my speech, it would be remiss to leave out the millions of customers of FNB. Our bank's success has always been linked to our ability to listen to them, to listen to their demands, their wishes, their requirements, your hundreds of emails every day, your thousands of tweets. I have to tell you, my daughter calls my phone a tweeter because I'm always on it. It's kept me staring at my phone at all hours, but it's also made us a better bank. In fact, I sincerely believe that our clients are the only reason why FNB has garnered awards ranging from the South African leader in cell phone and online banking, South Africa's strongest brand, the winner of the Top Companies Reputation Award, recognition as the coolest bank in South Africa by the Sunday Times Generation Next Awards, and of course, the award for being the world's most innovative bank. So, if you'll allow me to finish with a quote, which is from one of my favorite childhood authors, Robert Louis Stevenson, which I've chosen as my inspiration for the second half of my career, and it goes as follows: that man is a success who has lived well, laughed often and loved much, who has gained the respect of intelligent men and women and the love of children, who leaves the world better than he has found it, who never lacked appreciation of the earth's beauty or failed to express it, who looked for the best in others and gave the best he had, So the award which you have bestowed on me tonight has hugely boosted my motivation to try and reach these high ideals. So thank you to the Sunday Times. Thank you to all of you for indulging me for the past few minutes. And finally, thank you to Steve. I think you also helped. Good evening.
The judging panel included Noma Tabiso Mayokweni, the CEO of Business Unity South Africa, Professor Michael Katz, the chairman of Edward Nathan and Sonnenberg, Cheryl Carolus, the executive chair of Playtona Group, Russell Lopsher, the director of companies, and Futi Mtoba, the director of Deloitte & Touche. They, together with members of the Sunday Times, have decided that our Lifetime Achievement Award winner for this year is none other than Cyril Ramaphosa.
I'm deeply honored and very touched by this award. In many ways, I never expected that this is something that would be given to me. I'd like to thank the very many people who I have worked with, who have contributed immensely to me being awarded this achievement award. And many of you are sitting here. You've been partners in everything that I've done, both bad and good, criminal or otherwise. You've been part of it. I'd like to thank you. This type of award, in my view, is not an individual award. It, in many ways, is a collective award. So thank you very much for making a contribution to my life, to everything that we have achieved together. I'd also like to thank my colleagues at Shanduka, especially our CEO, Puti Mahanyele, who is here, and the various staff members. It is through Shanduka that we've been able to achieve quite a lot of things. And lastly, and not least important, I'd like to give great thanks to my wife, who is the pillar that I rely on for everything that I have achieved. Throughout the years that we've been together, she's been my main support, and also my children, some of whom are here. I'd like to thank you, and in many ways you have made great sacrifices to enable me to get to this point, and thank you very much for everything that you have done. And to all of us here, we have embarked on a journey, and it's a journey of developing this country and making it great. And let us now take the next stride. And maybe the Johnnie Walker theme is important. We must keep walking, keep taking the next stride, and see our journey through, beyond the 20 years of our democracy and much more in the future. Indeed, we are a great nation, and our greatness still awaits us. Let us keep striving to reach the greatness that we are bound to achieve. Thank you very much.
On behalf of Johnnie Walker, may I say how immensely proud, as part of the Sunday Times, we are to celebrate the best in South African business. These awards recognise corporate excellence, leadership, and the creation of value in South Africa. Each of these is fundamental to the development of a healthy economy and to the benefits that flow out to people. Celebrating the success of business as a wealth creator and as a vehicle for progress is vitally important. Through these awards, the valuable contribution that enterprise makes is given added and much needed visibility. For each of us, in the course of our lives, there's been someone, or perhaps more than one person, who's inspired our journey. And I'm sure lots of them are in the room today. As I watched the videos of the winners of the nation's greatest, it struck me forcibly that you in South Africa are fortunate to have so many of those role models, whose amazing achievements can spur others on to great things, in business, in politics, and possibly in sport. For yourselves, anyway. South Africa's success is being built by people who have a clear vision of what the future can bring and a determination to make it happen. Whether it lies in how technology can change lives for the better, or in how education and healthcare can improve the well-being of everyone. Greatness, as we've seen from those winners, comes in many forms, and collectively the achievements of the nation's greatest amount to progress for society, progress which should also inspire the rest of the African continent. For those of us in business, Africa is a continent of emerging and enormous potential. It's a hugely compelling proposition. And tonight I want to look at some of the challenges of developing a business in emerging markets, both through the Diageo business lens and also through a brand perspective. In doing so, I'll draw on our experience as Diageo in Africa. And today the company I represent is present in over 40 countries throughout Africa. And we've got a long association going back to Guinness that was first shipped into Sierra Leone back in 1827. And the earliest evidence that we could find for sales of Johnnie Walker from board minutes of the 26th of May, 1887, when the entire continent was covered by just 3 agents. Extraordinary. Inevitably, our view of doing business on the continent has been shaped by that long history. We've seen ups and we've seen downs. And one of the key things about being successful in emerging markets is understanding that that is just the rhythm of business. Africa now represents Diageo's largest group of emerging markets in terms of net sales, and we employ over 5,300 people, which is 1 in 4 of our total global population. So it's pretty important to our corporate performance, and it is going to become increasingly so as time goes on. So history has led us to take a longer-term view of developing our business here. It's taught us how to navigate volatility, and it has convinced us of the need for a flexible attitude to how we do business across the vastly different country markets, while always operating at the highest standards of international corporate governance. In many African countries, as here in South Africa, there are some amazing opportunities for growth. And so it's no surprise that we in Diageo have big growth aspirations here. And we're of course very aware of the responsibilities that come with that. We believe in generating prosperity for ourselves and all of our stakeholders by doing good business. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Good business means contributing to the development of people and economies through our core business activities by employing people, building skills and capabilities, paying taxes, and distributing dividends to local shareholders, and doing so in a sustainable manner. Building human capacity is critical to our success, to the success of any company, really, with long-term aspirations for Africa, and to the continent itself. So for global business, Africa is refreshing, it's inspiring, and when you come off the plane, you can feel it, it's really tangible. But entrepreneurship is flourishing at all levels, from the informal to the more established corporate players. And I believe the success for business, as well as for those who shape the destiny of nations, lies in ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And that is what South Africa has taught the world. John Walker had entrepreneurial spirit, a zeal. He had a vision for the future. He established new routes to markets. He was innovative in his production techniques, in his branding, in his packaging. He pioneered new ways of marketing, as did his sons. These values and principles we hold dear today. When we look at the growth projected for Africa, it's clear that business is going to need a lot more people, and a lot more people to support and help them in the way that John Walker received that support. We want to sustain the talent pipeline, and so we identify rising stars early, investing in our best people at more junior levels through a year-long program to help them build self-insight and to manage their careers. By investing significantly in developing our people and creating a supporting environment that brings out the best in everyone, we're enabling men and women to embrace the openings that the burgeoning success story of Africa will bring. In Africa, we've got a youthful generation, but it's a youthful generation that's increasingly connected, it's brand conscious, and is possessing growing spending power. And that's hugely attractive to brands and to marketers. So marketing a global brand successfully anywhere, and particularly here, means that ideas have to be grounded in local insights and local culture. They need to touch local culture. If not, brands will miss the mark and they'll miss out on the opportunity not only to create extra value for themselves, but also for their local stakeholders. So as the best companies operating in emerging markets have realised, corporate responsibility can have added significance. For those who have ambition in those markets, doing good by doing good business must become part of the mission. Ladies and gentlemen, our association with the Sunday Times Top 100 Companies has come about as part of our national Keep Walking South Africa campaign. Our Strive advertisement, which you saw some of earlier, reminded you in South Africa of some of your great achievements. But as the ad says, our future will not be written by the great strides of yesterday, but by the ones we take today. Tonight, we recognise the inspiring strides that are being taken today by businesses in South Africa, important strides that will lead us and lead you into the future. To the winners, I offer a wholehearted congratulations. Through your corporate and individual efforts, you are making business in South Africa both stronger and better.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the future, to progress.